Well, good afternoon, folks. This is Jim Hodson. I'm here at the Fort Worth Aviation Museum. I'm here today with Mike Amtower, and we're going to talk about some of our ground servicing equipment. One of the ones that we're going to look at here this afternoon is our TA-75. Mike, this is one we call it's called a TA-75, a United TA-75, and you'll notice that this one is called Big Joe. We'll get a sound test from you guys that are on. If you will, please give me a thumbs up or a heart if you're hearing us okay. Okay, thumbs up or a heart if you're hearing us. I know there's about 9 of you watching, so let me know. Hit that thumbs up or that heart. Just kind of hit on that for a while, so we know whether you're hearing us or not. But I've got Mike with us here today. And Mike, why don't you give us a basic rundown on what this machine is and what we use it for?
Well, this is what's called a TA-75, an airport tow vehicle. Mostly used on naval air stations. It's got a dual rear axle with a puncture head that goes back and down. It probably weighs about 4,000 pounds.
Well, let's show them. I think, actually, I was looking it up last night, and they weigh about 7,500 pounds. Here, I'm going to get behind you over here so we can.
That holds the back end down, gives traction to the rear wheels. Like I said, it's a dual rear axle with wheels on the back. And total it weighs about 7,500 pounds, which gives it enough traction to tow a very large aircraft.
Well, I was looking that up too, because I wasn't sure, although we've both seen these things a lot. It's capable of towing 70,000 pounds. Pulling 70,000 pounds. So, okay. And so, what's powering this thing?
We have a Ford 302 V8 in here that we put in about a year ago. When we got the vehicle, it had no engine, and Joe got us a 302 V8, and we spent a weekend swapping engines or installing the engine, and works out real well. It's got electronic ignition, and it's pretty well up to date.
Well, this is just a basic stock 302, isn't it? I mean, there's nothing particularly modified about it or anything like that. Now, have we made any modifications to this at all?
No, not at all.
Okay.
It's connected right up to the transmission, which is a 2-speed or 3-speed automatic, and works out real well.
Okay, let's do this. I know this is going to get loud, but let's go ahead and unplug the battery charger, and we can let people hear this thing go. Mike puts the hood down. You notice we've got it painted up. This is in honor of Joe Wayne, our one of our previous maintenance directors here. Joe is up in Wisconsin now. But Mike's going to go ahead and turn this thing on. Make it a little loud. Okay, we've got the A4 next to us here. We're not going to pull it out, but we're going to pull the tug up in front of the A4 and show you how it would get hooked up to be able to tow. So, Mike, if you want to bring it forward. Now, some of these get us set up with a mirror on the back so that people can back up and be able to see the pintle. So Mike is just going to tow it straight back. Got about 4 feet. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. A little bit more, a little bit more. That's good. Okay, now Mike's going to show you how we go ahead and hook up a tow bar on these. were a little bit short, it would normally come back and then the pin would go through. And then the tow bar back here, let's show them the tow bar and how this works. That's okay. Okay, show them how the tow bar fits on the airplane here, Mike.
All right, we lock it in here. Two pins, one on each side, that go into the wheel hub. And then we pull tension on this chain, and that pulls the two arms together, and that pulls it into the wheel hub.
Well, what are these other devices on the back of the tow bar here?
These are like for the OV-10 or other aircraft that have just ears that we can drop into.
Okay.
Pull these forward, drop into ears.
Okay, so this is a universal tow bar then.
Universal tow bar.
Although we have one that's longer than this, don't we?
We have extensions for this one.
Okay, and the extensions are for what purpose?
Aircraft with very long noses, like
Like the
the
F-111.
F-111, the F-18.
Okay.
You can't get under the nose, so we put extensions on the tow bar.
Okay. And so that works pretty good then.
Oh, absolutely.
And this, we've got a couple of other tugs, and we may show you one of them, although they're both up on jacks. Yeah, just gonna look up. That's good. We don't need to start it up. They've heard it. This is considered kind of a low boy, and this is so it does in fact be able to maneuver it underneath airplane noses. Commercial airliners use these, or the commercial airlines use these, and one of the things that one of the places where these weren't used were on aircraft carriers. Although Mike has got a story for us, but they tended not to be used on aircraft carriers because it's a gasoline engine, and that becomes a fire hazard. But Mike, you got a story about that?
Yeah, when we went to Vietnam in 1967, in May or end of April, we were on the USS Tripoli, LPH-10, which right now is in the breakout yard in Brownsville, but there's a new LHA-2 Tripoli to replace it. Anyway, after we got to Vietnam, there was a tow vehicle called a Garwood on the flight deck. And it was even lower than this. It was gasoline powered, and it had a hydraulic motor in all four wheels.
Oh, really? Okay.
And that thing weighed about 6,000 pounds. And one night after we arrived offshore in Vietnam, we hooked it up external to the CH-53 and hauled it to Marble Mountain. And as soon as it hit the ground, it was all flat.
So I'm just doing a little bit of a walk around here so people can see the whole vehicle. This one has recently been restored and repainted. So, you know, a lot of our ground service equipment or our GSE equipment here is almost as important as the airplanes, and they are in fact almost artifacts because the TA-75s are no longer used. You can still find them in use in certain places, but it is not. It's not the tug that's being used most often today. So we've got a Clark here on the other side of the ramp, but it's up on jacks. The Clarks are smaller. You might have seen those around airports. They use those to pull baggage carts. But these tugs can be used for many different purposes. Oops, I'm losing control of the phone here a little bit. But they can be used for a lot of different purposes. We use them here to not only pull airplanes, but we've got wagons that we can pull with washing devices on it to wash the airplanes or just to haul parts and things like that around. So very utilitarian for us. What else do you think we can tell people about this? Yeah, let's show them the front hook. Go ahead on the other side, Mike.
It's got a latch here, and you come in with the tow bar, and it pushes this up and locks it.
Okay, so you can,
It's kind of an automatic hitch, and to unlock it, you just pull this lever.
so we can pull or push with these things then.
Sometimes easier to push it from the nose than it is to pull it from the rear.
Yeah. So other than this, what's the most useful piece of ground equipment that we have, would you say?
That's a big forklift.
Yeah, that's it's our 10K.
10,000 pound 5-foot forklift.
And for instance, we've used that for that the OH-58 that you see behind us right here. You know, we've used that that forklift to put that up on the trailer that we've used to take that around. Yeah, the forklift has gotten a lot of use around here. So we've got a lot of other things too. We've got a lot of other jacks and maintenance stands. Maybe there's a couple of maintenance stands we can look at out here in the boneyard. We've got this one big red one over here that we've been referring to as Galloping Gertie, because if any of you remember the storm that we had last year, that's the one that was out here in front of the glowworm, and the wind blast that we got pushed it all the way across the ramp, all the way to the other side where the YF-16 is. So we've got a couple of different work stands out here. What's this one here, Mike?
I can't remember what this is called.
Okay, but we've got a couple of these, and it raises up and down, so we can.
That one's a permanent. The other one's a hydraulic.
And the other one's a B4, isn't it?
B4 stand.
So we use a lot of different kinds of stands, and some of these things are homemade. Obviously, this big yellow one it doesn't move, it doesn't adjust. But the B4 stand is hydraulic, hand pump hydraulic, and you can raise and lower the stand, so you've got a secure and a stable work platform. So if you have to get up on the tail of the airplane, and you'll notice it's got hooks on the front, and it's got a pin in the or a tow bar in the back. So it's something like the TA-75 or one of the other tugs that we've got can easily move these things around. So, B2 stand. Mike James is telling us it's a B2 stand. Okay, Mike. B4 stand. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's the same one as this. So we've got a lot of different equipment out here. We've got a lot of different jacks that we use for the airplanes. So we've got quite a collection of this stuff, and we have to keep this up too, at least in working order. Obviously, we don't have them painted up very well, but our attention and work goes towards the airplanes and not so much after the ground support equipment, other than keeping the tugs running, because we have to do that. And we've had some issues lately with wheels on one of the Clarks. So let's see if I can read any of the other comments here. I really can't. I've got sunlight on the phone, so it's hard to read. So if there's some other questions, we'll take some questions. Otherwise, this is probably going to be a short session today. And I'm going to tell you, we're probably not going to be on Wednesday. We're going to take we're going to take Wednesday before Thanksgiving off. And we hope that you all have a good Thanksgiving, however you are going to celebrate that this year. We appreciate that you have that you follow us and that you tune in twice a week. If you've got some other ideas for things that you'd like to see or know about, please let us know. But in the meantime, from the Fort Worth Aviation Museum, let's see. Well, maybe I've got a question here. Well, if I do, I'm sorry I can't read it. I'll pick it up when I get online later on and answer some of the questions. So from the Fort Worth Aviation Museum, home to the most touchable warbirds in Texas, I'm here with Mike Amtower, wishing you a good Thanksgiving. And don't forget to come on out, stay safe, keep your distance, and we will see you next week. Thanks, folks.